we used to just spend every minute together, me and my mum. Even now, I can't be away from mum for too long. I always popped in, even if it was for 10 minutes, to get her up, to walk into the kitchen and have a cup of tea with me. And it just kept her mobile. She did have one really bad fall that she tried to get on the commode, didn't make it and ended up on the bedroom floor. The carers obviously didn't get in till 9 o'clock in the morning and mum had been on the floor, freezing cold all night. They took her into hospital and then they turned around and said for her own safety, she'd have to go into a nursing home. I don't think she wanted to be in a nursing home, but at the same time I even think she felt that she weren't coping anymore. She had to do like a 6-week and it was coming towards the end of her thing and she said, no, I want to go home. So we brought her home, but she was only home 2 days and ended up falling again and going back into A&E.
Yeah, I think a pattern had emerged where Anne was going from A&E back to a care home and back to A&E because people were struggling to meet her needs. I think she didn't feel heard because of her dementia. She was struggling to accept the new environment. It didn't make sense to her. She didn't know why she was there. All the routines were frightening to her and she was in a very unhappy place. The other residents were finding her very frightening and upsetting. The violence, the aggression, the swearing, the shouting. So they were actually looking to move Anne to another nursing home.
She just kept kicking off and when I went to see her, when I left, it made the situation worse. Mum would kick off more, Mum would scream more, Mum would shout out more. They asked me not to come for a little while, but the thing is they didn't realise them stopping me from seeing her. It was as if someone had cut from my right arm and took it away. I didn't go for months. The last conversation I had, when she settles down, we phone you. Well, the phone call never materialised and I didn't know what to do. I had no one that I could go and get advice from. So, no, I didn't trust anybody. Julie called me. She told me she was an Admiral Nurse and would I meet her? She said, well, we'll meet at the nursing home. I went, no. If you don't mind, I'd rather go in the nursing home with you. Because if I had someone beside me to give me a little bit of confidence and to face them, made it easier for me to cope with. I don't know how my mum was going to react with me neither, because it'd been quite a while since I'd seen her.
Anne was so happy to see her daughter. It was incredible to see, and that's when I absolutely knew the connection between the two of them was the vital thing.
When Julie phoned me and said, what do you think of the idea of getting your mum home? She'd tell you I burst into tears. Really.
It seemed a completely impossible task, and when I started broaching the questions with professionals, I got met with huge, what are you even thinking about? But actually I was able to articulate why it was in her best interest and why we needed to consider it, and worked with some fantastic people that really worked collaboratively with me, but I managed to coordinate everything.
She gave me the most happiest day. When my mum walked in that door, came in that door, the smile on my mum's face was everything. Julie gave me confidence back and I'll be forever, ever grateful to her.
To see her pleasure at seeing her home again after so long was absolutely amazing. A lot of the behaviour that people were struggling with all resolved virtually within days of her arriving home. Because Anne was so clear that she wanted to die in her home and she didn't ever wanted to be taken out. So we did a lot of work about planning for the future, both with Anne and with Sue, to ensure that whatever time she has left, she remains in her own home and she doesn't go back into the vicious cycle of going back to hospital and out again. Every family is different. It's impossible to say there's one solution that fits all. So part of the skill of the Admiral Nurse is to assess each individual family and work out exactly what's right for that person and their family, and that'll be different for everyone.
Friday was always fish and chip day. It's just lovely. You pull up in the car and you're walking up, you can hear Mum laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can hear Mum singing.
Knees up, don't get a breeze up, knees up, Mother Brown.
And it's such a uplifting feeling in my heart, thinking, yes, She's happy. It was right to let her come home. You think, oh, good luck to you, Mum. Good luck to you.